Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Venture Midweek. We're so glad that you were part of this week's thought with us. Really picking up on where I left off Sunday morning in our teaching in Romans chapter 5, where we started thinking through this reality that peace is not the absence of suffering. Peace really is the presence of God, and that's why Paul could make this, what sounds like a crazy statement in Romans chapter 5, that we can rejoice in suffering, but he went on to unpack this idea that suffering is what produces endurance in us. Endurance is what produces character in us, what makes us a tried and true kind of person. And then character ultimately produces hope in us, which again is not this whimsical, I wish that this might happen. It's a confidence that God is going to come through for us. And so what I wanted to do is kind of give you a little bit of an introduction about where we're going this Sunday morning. We're going to take a break for a couple of weeks from the book of Romans, and I'm going to, this first week, dive into Psalm chapter 18. It is an incredible section of scripture that reminds us why we can have peace. It's because of who brings us peace, or who is peace in us, and that is God. And so in Psalm chapter 18, the writer here writes, "I love you, O Lord, my strength." Listen to this. "The Lord is my rock and my fortress, my deliverer, my God, my rock in whom I take refuge. He is my shield. He's the horn of my salvation and my stronghold. Therefore, I will call upon the Lord, because he is worthy to be praised, and he saves me from my enemies or from my suffering." This Sunday, we're going to be looking at several things that God does for us to bring about the peace that his presence brings in our lives. You see, the presence of God brings confidence for those of us that are followers of Jesus, and we can live in that confidence. And when we're confident, we are at peace. Listen to what Psalm 18 verse 30 says. It says, "This God," I love that, just this definitive statement, "this God, his way is perfect. The word of the Lord proves true." And here's this thought again: "He is my shield," and he's a shield for all of us who take refuge in him. And this is just this idea that God's presence brings confidence, and confidence is a sign of peace. I'm not going to get knocked off course because of the suffering or the circumstances of my life. No, I'm going to have confidence because God is who he says he is in me. And who is he? He's perfect. He's flawless. And he fills those of us who are followers of him with goodness, with the goodness of his love, and that gives us confidence. Three things I want to talk to you about this coming weekend. So I hope you're able to make it or join us online, or maybe follow up if you're taking a trip during spring break. Listen to these things that God does for us that breeds confidence or broods confidence in us. Verse 32 says, "God is the one who equips us with strength and makes our way blameless." This idea of God equipping us is how he strengthens us, and he knows how to support us in our very present time of need. If you are walking through a season of suffering, listen, God will equip you during this season. If you'll place your trust and confidence in him, in his presence of peace in you, he will equip you at just the right spot that you need equipping. And then something else we're going to talk about this coming weekend. Verse 34 says, "He trains my hands for war so that my arms can bend and bow of bronze." He goes on to say, "You've given me the shield of my salvation, and your right hand has supported me." This idea of God equipping moves into a training mode, where not only does he equip us to get through what we're going through, but he also continues to train us. And we learn from past experience and how the presence of God in seasons past have now trained us to walk through things we're walking through not only right now, but also in the future. This idea of God training us is his preparing us for every good work. And so the idea is here that he empowers us to be warriors, to fight, and to not give up. He equips us and He trains us. And then in verse 43, David says, "Oh God, you deliver me from strife." So you deliver me from suffering. That's who God is. He's a deliverer. You delivered me from strife with the people, and you made me the head of nations. So he was feeling low and oppressed, maybe even outcast or downtrodden. But now God has delivered him from the very thing that was causing suffering, and He's put him on top of that. That's what God does for us. He builds confidence in us by equipping us, training us, and ultimately delivering us. That's why David could say, "God, I love you. Oh Lord, you are my strength. You're my rock, my fortress, my deliverer." Listen, if you're walking through a season of challenge and suffering right now, maybe the best thing that you can do is just cry out to God and say, "God, I love you. I need you to equip me. I need you to train me, and I need you to deliver me." And what you will find if you do that, if you call out to Him, is you'll hear those three words back from God to you. He will speak your name, and He will tell you, "I love you. I'm here for you, to equip you, to train you, and to deliver you." Listen, I hope you can join us Sunday as we dive deeper into Psalm 18. Again, thanks for watching these each Wednesday. Be sure to like and share and spread the good news of the gospel that we're talking through each week on Wednesday. God bless you guys. I hope you have a great rest of your week.